Good evening and welcome to Colburn Park as the Newark Pilots and the Jamestown Jammers are set to play a doubleheader here in Newark, New York. Yesterday, the Pilots got swept in both ends of the doubleheader against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, losing Game 1 6-5 and Game 2 8-3. The Newark Pilots in the cellar of the Western Division of the Perfect Game League at 5-17, 12 games back of the leaders, the Jamestown Jammers, coming into tonight at 17-5. Jamestown is 4-0 against the Pilots this year, the most recent being a 9-3 win at their place in a back-and-forth game that they blew open in the bottom of the sixth to put the game away 9-3. The Pilots will turn to their 6'2", 200-pound right-hander from the University at Buffalo in Amherst, New York, Andrew White. White is making his first start for the Newark Pilots this summer. He wears number 29 and he'll pitch to Will Alaka. The defense behind Andrew White looks like this. Left right in the outfield, John Ballier, Mark McKenna, and Over Torres. Left right in the infield, Hunter Wells, Mike O'Connor, Graham Hackbarth, and Peter Battaglia. And catching Andrew White would be Will Alaka. 73 degrees and cloudy here at Colburn Park as Andrew White just about finishes up his warm-up tosses. 73 degrees and cloudy here at Colburn Park. We're listening to Frank LaSalle on the Newark Pilots Radio Network. Now, as the great Ernie Banks said, let's play two. Digging in for the Jamestown Jammers to lead it off, it's their catcher, number 17, Chris Connolly. The red shirt junior from Canisius digs in at the top of a lot of categories for the hitting. The first pitch to him, squares the bunt and takes strike one from Andrew White. It'll be Chris Connolly, Chris Estrada, and Ben Brookover, 1-2-3 against Andrew White working from the stretch. One strike pitch. Strike two. It's John White behind the plate and Jim McLaughlin in the field. So two different umpires than what we saw in last night's doubleheader against Mohawk Valley. Conley digging in, deep in the right-handed batter's box, standing all over the plate. The two-strike pitch misses low from Andrew White. Counts 1-2. Chris Conley has reached base almost 70 times through the first 20 games. He has a .598 on-base percentage, has 8 more walks than the second-place guy in the league. He's third in average with .391. He's sixth in hits with 25. And he's eighth in RBIs with 16. The 1-2 pitch from Andrew White misses outside. Counts 2-2. Conley is 3 for 12 against the Pilots this year with 6 runs, 5 RBIs, 7 walks, and the Pilots pitching staff has hit him 3 times. The 2-2. Lined into center field. McKenna got a jump on it, but it's going to drop. It's going to be a leadoff single for Chris Connolly. And Jamestown has their leadoff man on here in the top of the first to start this game. That'll bring up number 16, their third baseman, Chris Estrada. 28 for 88 in 21 previous games. He's .318 with a .357 on-base percentage. Batting just .211 against the Pilots this year. The third baseman will dig in. Hunter Wells, our third baseman, will be on the grass with Chris Connolly leading off first, being held down by Battaglia. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Game 1 of 2 doubleheader games. Both games will be 7 innings long. This is the Pilots' 4th doubleheader on the year. White working from the stretch with a 1-0 count. The pitch misses high, 2-0. Now Will Alaka will go out and have a conversation with tonight's starter, Andrew White. Pilots wearing their baby blues, their powder blues, which they've worn in every home doubleheader thus far. And now John White is going to go break up the party on the mound.
Plate umpires got to go out and have a chat and break this up between the catcher Alaka and the starter White.
So Andrew White will be working with a 2-0 count to Chris Estrada. Chris Connolly on first.
It's 2-0 right now.
He reached on a leadoff single to center field. Lined it right in front of his Canisius teammate, Mark McKenna. White from the stretch, the 2-0. Misses high, counts 3-0. Pilots have given up first inning runs in the last 2 games. 1 run in game 1 yesterday, 3 runs in game 2. The 3-0 from Andrew White. Sets, fires, misses inside. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk after a leadoff single to start the game. And Jamestown has their first 2 batters on in the game. So that'll bring up Ben Brookover. First in the league in at-bats, 4th in runs. First with 29 hits. And there's driven in 14 runs on the year. A good opportunity to drive in runs here. With runners on first and second and nobody out. Hunter Wells will play even with the bag at third. Battaglia even with the bag at first. Middle infield and double play depth. The first pitch misses high to the backstop. It's going to be a wild pitch from Andrew White. Alaka couldn't even get a glove on that one as it sailed over his head. Count stays at 1-0.
Having some trouble here in the early going. Runners at second and third now. Nobody out. And 1 ball to the strike count on Ben Brookover.
So the runners move up to second and third. So 2 ducks on the pond for Ben Brookover. Here in the top of the first. Geneva threatening. Andrew White working from the stretch. The 1-0. Strike 1. Brookover batting .312 with a .349 on base percentage. The junior from the University of Texas, San Antonio, is 9 for 19 against the Pilots this year. The 1-1 popped up. Battaglia and Torres will give it a look. Torres races over. It's out of play. Count goes to 1-2. To the Jamestown first baseman. So Brookover will step back in, facing Andrew White, the redshirt freshman from the University of Buffalo, the 1-2. Misses hot up and in. Counts 2-2. Made 1 start for the University of Buffalo this year. Went 2 1/3, 5 hits, 8 earned runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That was against Pete Battaglia's Niagara team. Lost that one. He looks over at third. Now fires the 2-2 to Brookover. In the dirt, Alaka has to go to the backhand to prevent that one from getting to the screen. And the count's full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. So an important pitch from Andrew White. You do not want to load the bases up. The payoff pitch lined into center. McKenna got a good jump, and it's going to drop. We play it on a bounce. 1 run will score as McKenna gets the run in. It's an RBI single for Ben Brookover. Chris Connolly comes around to score, and Chris Estrada moves up 90 feet to third. It's 1-0 Jamestown with the runners on the corners for their cleanup hitter, Skylar Valentine. Will Alaka will go out in front of the mound and give his infield the signal. Skylar Valentine, the center fielder, digs in. Takes low for ball 1. Valentine has 27 hits in 20 games, batting .346 with a .457 on-base percentage. Jamestown has 5 guys in the top 10 in hits on the year. The 1-0. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Andrew White working predominantly from the stretch here tonight to the Jamestown Jammers. 4 batters in. They already lead 1-0. 1-1 from the stretch. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Counts 1-2.
Ball, 2 strikes.
Andrew White's University at Buffalo teammate playing shortstop tonight for the Pilots. That's Mike O'Connor. 1-2 upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. The hitter is Skylar Valentine, the center fielder. Runners on first and third, they take their leads.
Scoring position, 333. 2 balls, 2 strikes on here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on the corners. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Andrew White blows a fastball by Skylar Valentine for the first out. That'll bring up Colin Stack, the right fielder.
Colin Stack.
Batting .338 with a .375 on base percentage in 17 games. Plays for UMBC. Stack 4 for 13, batting .308. Pilots this year. White from the stretch. A double play away from getting out of this one with runners on the corners and 1 out. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. Misses high. Count goes to 2-0. White, the redshirt freshman from Buffalo, against Stack, the junior from UMBC. Estrada and Brookover lead off first and third. The 2-0. At the knees, strike 1. Counts 2-1. There's 1 out. There's runners on the corners, and there's 1 run in already. The 2-1. This one misses low. Counts 3-1.
He was unsuccessful. The jump wasn't fine, but he was down at 3-1.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on the corners. The pitch. Strike 2. Colin Stack got a nice look at that Andrew White fastball. And now we'll see what White goes to for the payoff pitch. Gave up an RBI single to Brookover on the payoff pitch last time. Runner goes. It's popped up. Torres started and now goes back. He settles under it. He'll make the play charging. He will fire a laser home, not in time to get Estrada tagging from third. So it's a sac fly and an RBI for Stack, and it's 2-0.
Now up to the plate, number 1, Alex O'Donnell.
So Brookover stays put at first. Colin Stack picks up the RBI. That was Stack's 16th RBI on the year, tying him with Chris Connolly for 8th. First pitch from Andrew White to the shortstop Alex O'Donnell. Missed for ball 1. White working from the stretch wearing number 29. Fires 1 out for strike 1. So counts 1 ball, 1 strike to the Mercyhurst Jr. O'Donnell.
Alex O'Donnell has go down to Anthony Barone at third with the signs.
Runner goes. The throw down from Malaka is going to go into center field. It'll be a stolen base for Ben Brookover.
Kind of stumbled getting up because I think he was entertaining.
That's Brookover's 4th stolen base. Has been caught twice.
All of a sudden, back-to-back games were stolen bases.
So count goes to 2-1 now to O'Donnell, as Alaka's throw gets past the glove of Hackbarth into center, but Brookover did not decide to take the extra base. Did not want to test McKenna's arm. The 2-1 misses high. Alaka tries to frame it. No dice. Counts 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 2 runners already home here in the top of the first. Pilots will have their first bats trailing for the 3rd game in a row. Looks back now, fires the 3-1. At the knees, O'Donnell started towards first. Will have to be brought back. Counts full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Andrew White from the stretch. Runner leads off second. That's Brookover. Grounded right up the middle. Hackbarth. It'll land into center field. It's going to be a base hit. Then Brookover, who is running on the play, is going to score. It's an RBI single for Alex O'Donnell, and it's 3-0. So, as pitching coach Bennett Schultz will go out and talk to White. It was a ground ball that hit, that White tried to field, then a tough hop, 8 Hackbarth up, and the ball landed in center for the 2nd run. So that's Jamestown's 3rd hit of the inning. They also have a walk and a sacrifice fly. And now as Schultz goes back to the mound, John White will go out and break up the party on the mound.
Christian Deegan.
That'll bring up the left fielder, the left-handed hitting left fielder, Christian Deaton. The junior from CSU Bakersfield is 5 for 30, batting 167 with a 490 on base percentage on the year. The left-handed hitting waits. The pitch runner goes. The throw down to second is in time for the out to end the inning. 2-6 to end this one, but not before Jamestown gets on the board. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors in the inning, and because of the caught stealing, no one left on base. We've played a half an inning. Jamestown 3, Newark Pilots coming to bat. So number 11, the right-hander Quinn Taylor just about finishes his warm-up tosses. Pilots hitters should be familiar with Quinn Taylor. He's making his 3rd start of the year. The previous 2 have both been against the Pilots. Both have been in Jamestown. The first one took a no decision, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run. The second one won the game in 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. The first pitch to the 3rd baseman, Hunter Wells. He takes outside for ball 1. It'll be Hunter Wells, John Ballier, and Will Alaka against Taylor this inning. For next pitch, grounded to second. Markey takes it on a hop, fires to Brookover at first for the out.
Now to the plate for your
The
Newark
defense
Pilots,
behind Quinn
number
Taylor,
13, playing left field,
Christian Deaton,
John
Skylar
Deputy.
Valentine, Colin Stack, left to right in the outfield, left to right in the infield. It's Chris Estrada, Alex O'Donnell, Ryan Markey, Ben Brookover. And catching Quinn Taylor is Chris Connolly. Taylor is 1-0 with a 3.48 ERA. That one win came against the Pilots back on June 22nd. John Ballier digs in. He's 17 for 60 for 69. Another team and hits. 1-0 pitch misses outside. Ball 2. Ballier, the left-handed hitting left fielder from Orange Coast Community College and Costa Mesa, California. 2-0. Outside 3-0. He's from Mission Viejo. Looking to get on here with an out. 2-0. Ballier taking all the way. Counts 3-1. 3-1. Swung on, fouled back. Estrada will give it a look, run out of room. Ballier went 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly RBI in game 1 last night in the 6-5 loss. And the count is full now to him. Taylor working from the stretch, the payoff pitch to Ballier. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Ballier down swinging. Quinn Taylor has retired the first 2 batters in this inning.
Will steps to the plate. Will is hitting 246 is 17th game and 17th start forward.
Heading up to the plate, it's Will Alaka, the right-handed hitting catcher. Tonight takes outside from Quinn Taylor for ball 1. Alaka went 2 for 4 in game 1 and 0 for 3 in game 2 last night. Him and Pete Battaglia are the only 2 Pilots that started in both games. Takes a 1-0 for strike 1. Now we'll ask for time and step out ahead of the 1-1 from Quinn Taylor. 1-1 to Alaka is grounded to short. O'Donnell will take it on a hop, fire to Brookover at first to end the inning. Pilots go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first. We've played 1. Jamestown leads 3-0. We'll be right back. Seven, 8, and 9 against Andrew White back on the hill after a rough top of the first. Deaton was at the plate when Alex O'Donnell was caught stealing to end top of the first. First pitch to Deaton, taken low, ball 1. It'll be Deaton, Ryan Markey, the second baseman, and Casey Vincent, the designated hitter, against Andrew White, working from the stretch. To the left-hander, Deaton. 1-0, fires in a fastball for strike one. Jamestown got 3 in the top of the first on a single from Brookover, a sacrifice fly from Colin Stack, and then a RBI single from O'Donnell. 2 of those RBIs were with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch misses upstairs, counts 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Deaton. The junior from CSU Bakersfield takes outside, counts 3-1. Andrew White working from the stretch to lead off the top of the second. The 3-1. Downstairs, ball 4. It's the second walk of the game from Andrew White as Christian Deaton walks to start off the inning.
Out to the plate, number 20, playing second base, Ryan Markey.
Ryan Markey will dig in, wearing number 20, the second baseman, the redshirt freshman from St. John's. Takes the first pitch that paints the outside corner for strike 1. Batting just 190 on the year, but has a .500 on-base percentage. Has 12 walks in 9 games. 1 strike breaking ball, taking for strike 2. White from the stretch with Deaton leading off first. Pitch in the dirt kept in front of Alaka. No advance. Counts 1-2. Christian Deaton has stolen 3 bases and has been caught twice. So 3 for 5 on the base paths. We'll see if he goes now on a 1-2 count to Ryan Markey. The 1-2 swung on and missed at a fastball upstairs for strike 3. The second strikeout of the game for White and the first out of this top of the second. That'll bring up the designated hitter for the Jamestown Jammers, Casey Vincent. Vincent, 8 for 26 with a .308 batting average, takes a fastball for strike 1. The freshman designated hitter from St. Bonaventure is 0 for 4 against the Pilots this year. Standing in the left-handed batter's box. The third lefty that Andrew White will face lines it right to O'Connor, who had to wait on it. A slow line drive from the left-hander Vincent for the second out. So after a leadoff walk, back-to-back outs, that'll flip the lineup back over for Chris Connolly.
Out to the plate, number 17, catcher.
The catcher, Chris Connolly, singled and scored his first time up. That single was the 62nd time he reached base. Runner goes, pitch upstairs. Good pitch to throw on. The ball is bounced, tips off O'Connor's glove. So Christian Deaton is in with a stolen base to second. The throw was there. It just short hopped O'Connor. So it's Deaton's 4th stolen base of the year, the 2nd stolen base for the Jammers here through an inning and 2/3. Chris Connolly, the pitch was outside, so it's ball 1 to him. White from the stretch, fastball lined into the gap. McKenna over, this ball is going to be trouble. Conley rounds first, he will stay there. Deaton rounds third, he'll score. So thanks to the stolen base, it's an RBI single for Chris Connolly. He's 2 for 2, and it's 4-0. That was Connolly's 17th RBI on the summer campaign. Jamestown has scored 3 of their 4 now. 2 outs. Chris Estrada digs in, the right-handed hitting third baseman from University of Texas San Antonio, takes a breaking ball for strike 1 from White. He walked his first time up and then scored on a sacrifice fly. The 1-strike pitch, checks his swing, it's fouled back. Counts 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Conley leads off first. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Alaka flashes upstairs. Now get the 2-strike pitch. He will throw behind Conley at first. He is back in safely. The tag from Battaglia, not in time to retire Conley. Alaka catching Andrew White, working from the stretch. 4-0 in the top of the second. 1-2. Fouled back. Counts 2-2. One ball, 2 strikes, or 2 balls. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Break that 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is high. 2-2. No. The 2-2 now to Chris Estrada from Andrew White. Taken low. Counts 3-2. So Chris Connolly leads off first with 2 outs and a full count. Battaglia will play behind him. From the stretch, Andrew White up the third base line. Count will remain full to Chris Estrada, batting .318 on the year. Batting with a runner on first with 2 outs. It's the University at Buffalo starter, Andrew White. Runner goes. The pitch, outside corner, strike 3. Chris Estrada down looking. But Jamestown gets 1. 1 run on 1 hit, a 2-out RBI single from Chris Connolly to expand the lead to 4-0. It'll be Battaglia, Torres, and Jonathan Parker when we get back in the bottom of the second. Pilots trail 4-0. It'll be Battaglia, Torres, and Parker against Quinn Taylor, who got the Pilots to go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first. First pitch was lofted into right. That's going to be a base hit. Battaglia rounds first. He heads the second. Round second. He heads the third. He will dive into third or stand up at third with a leadoff triple for Pete Battaglia to start this one.
Out to the plate, number 3, playing right field, Over Torres.
That'll bring up Over Torres, the right fielder, after the leadoff triple from Battaglia. We've seen Battaglia go the other way a few times yesterday. Had 2 doubles last night, went 3 for 3 in game 1. 1 for 1 here in game 1 of this one. First pitch to Over Torres, upstairs, ball 1. Torres, 13 for 48, 271 batting average, and a 300 on base percentage, leads the team with 9 RBIs. Has an opportunity, but pops up the 1-0. O'Donnell settles under it. A step onto the outfield grass for the first out. So Over Torres pops out, and that'll bring up Jonathan Parker, the designated hitter tonight in game 1. Was the catcher in game 2 last night and went 0 for 3 with a run scored and a strikeout. Digs in against Quinn Taylor, a right-handed pitcher, has retired 4 of the first 5 Pilots he's faced. First pitch to Parker. Takes strike 1. Parker batting just 193, so below the Mendoza line with a 303 on base percentage. Quinn Taylor working from the stretch with Battaglia on third. 1 strike pitch to Parker. Inside. Count goes to 1-1. Parker is at the bottom of the on-base percentage leaderboard for qualified hitters. Has the 7th worst on-base percentage among qualified hitters in the league. This 1-1, though, is going to be lofted into center. It's going to be past the diving glove of the center fielder, Valentine. It's a base hit. Parker rounds first. He will head to second with his 4th double of the summer. It's 4-1. So the Pilots are on the board after a leadoff triple and a 1-out double by Jonathan Parker. Parker's 4th double and 4th RBI on the year has the Pilots on the board. And now it's his future teammate at Louisiana Tech, Graham Hackbarth. Hackbarth went 2 for 2 in game 2 last night with a run scored and an RBI. Looking to pick up an RBI here. First pitch grounded to third. Slow one. Estrada will charge. Hackbarth runs. Fires bare hand to get Hackbarth at first on the bang-bang play. So Estrada barehanded that one. Parker will move up 90 feet to third. And it's Mike O'Connor, the hitter, looking to keep this inning going. He's the shortstop here in game 1. Played at short last night in game 1. Went 1 for 1 with 2 walks. He's batting just 200, 2 for 10, but has a .556 on-base percentage. First pitch from Quinn Taylor is inside. Ball 1. O'Connor has walked 8 times, driven in 2 runs in 5 games. Made an error last night in game 1, the 1-0, strike 1. The count goes to 1-1 to the Pilots' shortstop, the University at Buffalo teammate of Andrew White, tonight's starting pitcher. Taylor from the stretch, the 1-1 to O'Connor, is taken outside. Count goes to 2-1. Mark McKenna would be next if O'Connor can extend this inning. O'Connor's batting average right at the Mendoza line of 200. In danger of falling below and keep it above with a 2-out base hit. A base hit would drive Parker in from third. 2-1 breaking ball misses. Counts 3-1. McKenna has been on base a lot in the last 3 games for the Pilots. 3-1 misses outside ball 4. It's the 9th walk for Michael O'Connor on the year, and there are runners on the corners for Mark McKenna with 2 outs. McKenna had 2 hits on Sunday night, 2 hits on Tuesday against Geneva, and then went 1 for 3 in Game 1 last night, playing center field. So he's gotten 5 hits, has been hit by a pitch, and walked a few times in his last 3. Drove in 2 runs last night in Game 1. Was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded and had an RBI double. Here he is with the runners on the corners and 2 outs. First pitch swinging, slapped the other way. Christian Deaton goes back. He's still back. He will settle under it, make the play to end the inning. So McKenna, first pitch swinging, flies out to left to end the inning. But not before the Pilots get 1. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors in the inning. On base, we've played 2. Jamestown leads Game 1, 4-1. It'll be Brookover, Valentine, and Stack. 3, 4, and 5 against the Pilots righty, Andrew White, here in the top of the 3rd of Game 1. Pilots trail 4-1. Picked up a run on a 1-out RBI double from Jonathan Parker in the bottom of the 2nd. White looking for the shutdown inning. First pitch slipped off the mound first as the ball went all the way towards the backstop for strike number 1. So it counts 1-0 to Brookover, who singled, stole a base, drove in a run, and scored a run back in the 1st. So he's 1 for 1. He takes upstairs for ball 2. The junior first baseman from the University of Texas at San Antonio. A pretty experienced lineup for the Jammers as the 2-0 misses high. Seven of the 9 Jamestown hitters in this Game 1 are at least juniors in college. Have played 3 seasons at their respective universities. 3-1 fastball, Brookover taking all the way for strike 1. The first baseman waits ahead of the pitch from the right-hander White. Brookover had tossed his bat back towards the Jammers' dugout. A late strike call from home plate ump John White has run this count full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man in the inning, Ben Brookover. Digs in, gets his bat back, and now awaits the payoff pitch from Andrew White. Pokes this one to second. Hackbarth will take it out of bounds. He'll take his time. He'll toss to Battaglia at first for the first out in the top of the 3rd inning. So Brookover tosses his bat towards the dugout, picks it back up, and grounds it out. So after tossing his bat to the ground, he hits it on the ground for out number 1. The hitter will be Skylar Valentine. Struck out swinging for the first out of the game back in the top of the first. He's 0 for 1 against Andrew White. First pitch below the knees, ball 1. White from the stretch, the 1-0. At the knees, strike 1. Valentine, the center fielder, wearing a sleeve on his right arm for the Jammers. 1-1 pitch misses high, ball 2. Game 1 of this doubleheader. Both games will be 7 innings here at Colburn Park. The 2-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Jamestown comes into this one 9-2 on the road. Pilots just 4-8 at home. Jamestown 13-4 against Western Division opponents. The Pilots are 4-15. The 2-2. Bounced to Alaka. And the count is full. So 3-2 count. 2 back-to-back hitters here to start this 3rd inning. This will be Andrew White's 62nd pitch. 66. The 66th pitch misses low, and it's ball 4. So the 3rd walk from Andrew White in as many innings.
Number 9, playing right field, Colin Stack.
This is the Pilots' 4th doubleheader. They're just 1-5 in those doubleheader games. The 1 came in an 18-9 win last Friday night against Onondaga in a game where the Pilots already had led 5-2. So they're 0-5 in 7 inning games as this ball gets away from Alaka. It's a wild pitch from Andrew White as Skylar Valentine moves up 90 feet to second. Colin Stack, the batter, is ahead in the count 1-0. Had a sacrifice fly and an RBI in his first plate appearance. Valentine now leads off second, the 1-0. Off the corner, counts 2-0. Jordan Miller will get the start in game 2 for the Pilots. Make that stack supporting the no batting glove look. White looks back at second, now fires the 2-0. Bounced in front of the plate. Alaka goes to the backhand to stop it. Quickly 3-0. Colin Stack, 25 for 74, batting .338 with a .375 on base percentage. 3-0 pitch just off the plate, ball 4. For Andrew White here in the top of the 3rd, as Alaka will go out and talk to his pitcher. Pilots trail 4-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning, game 1 of this doubleheader. Both games will be 7 innings as John White will go out and break up the party on the mound. Alaka will hang back behind the plate. The hitter is Alex O'Donnell with a 2-out RBI single back in the first. He's 1 for 1 tonight. He's the shortstop. From the stretch, the pitch. Strike 1. Alex O'Donnell's RBI back in the first was his 20th. So he has 20 RBIs and just 14 hits on the season. Down Jammers has also hit a home run. 1-strike pitch from White. He thought about it, lays off. Now John White's going to ask his companion, Jim McLaughlin. Did not go. Counts 1-1. 2 runners on after a ground out to start this inning. Back-to-back walks from Andrew White. He's walked 4 in his Newark Pilots debut on the 2nd to last day of June. White looks back. The 1-1. Grounded. Foul. Counts goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Valentine leads off second, and Colin Stack leads off first. Both hitters walked, and they both take their leads. Both Andrew White, who's working from the stretch. Hunter Wells, the third baseman, even with the bag at third. And now Alaka will go out and talk to Andrew White. Want to make sure that Skylar Valentine is not stealing signs from second. White from the stretch to Alex O'Donnell. 1-for-1 tonight against White. From the stretch, the 1-2. Bounce. This one will be past Alaka. It's another wild pitch. Runners move up 90 feet to second and third. And there's 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out. So Valentine's at third now and Stack at second. 2 ducks on the pond. The Pilots will bring their infield in, down 4-1 in the top of the third. White working from the stretch, the 2-2. Just missed out of the zone, high. Counts full. So the third full count of the inning to 4 batters. Walked 1 and got a 1 to ground out. O'Connor, the deepest, a step back at short. Battaglia, a step off the grass at first as Alex O'Donnell tosses his bat, but's going to pick that one right back up. He strikes out looking for the second out of the inning. So the infield will back up now with 2 outs. For the left-handed hitting left fielder, Christian Deaton. He walked, stole a base, and scored a run his first time up. He has stood at the plate in the first, second, and third so far for Jamestown. This pitch gets away from Alaka. It's going to be a wild pitch, and it's going to be a run. So Skylar Valentine scores on the third wild pitch of the inning from Andrew White. Score goes to 5-1, and the count is 1-0 to Christian Deaton. White from the stretch. O'Donnell will make that stack on third. 1-0 pitch miss. Counts 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch is high. Counts 3-0. A 4-pitch walk in this inning. Looking to avoid the second. 3-0 pitch fired in for strike 1. Deaton taking as White has struggled to find the zone. Pilots will have the top of the order when they get back to hit in the bottom of the third. The 3-1 is fired in for strike 1. And the count is full to the left-handed hitting left fielder. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Andrew White works back from a 3-0 count to strike Christian Deaton out swinging. But Jamestown gets 2. 2 runs, 2 walks, or 1 run. They only got 1. 1 run, 1 walk, or 1 run, 2 walks in the inning, 2 strikeouts from Andrew White, and the score is 5-1. It'll be Wells, Valier, and Alaka when we get back in the bottom of the third. It'll be Wells, Valier, and Alaka for the Pilots against Quinn Taylor from the windup. This trio went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first. Pitch misses outside to Hunter Wells for ball 1. He is 0 for 1 tonight, 2 for 7 since joining the team, appearing in his 4th game for the Pilots. Quinn Taylor took the rubber in the bottom of the first with a 3-0 lead, in the bottom of the second with a 4-0 lead, and now in the bottom of the third with a 4-1 lead. So keeps getting help from his offense through the first 3. It's a 2-0 count now to Hunter Wells. 2-0 from the stretch, from the windup, missed outside. Counts at 3-0. To the third baseman from Richmond, Texas. It's a 4-pitch walk to start off this 3rd inning. So the Pilots have a man on, and Quinn Taylor will be forced to work from the stretch. It's the first walk from, or make that the second walk from Quinn Taylor tonight. That'll bring up John Valiant. Struck out swinging. Back in the first. So Hunter Wells leads off first, being held on by Ben Brookover. Quinn Taylor looks over. From the stretch now fires. Outside, 5 straight balls to start this bottom of the 3rd inning. From the sophomore right-hander from Felician College, Quinn Taylor. Making his 3rd start, all have come against the Pilots. Third baseman Estrada is in against the lefty Valiant. 1-0 pitch, fired in, gets the outside corner for strike 1. Valier, the left-handed hitting left fielder, wearing number 13. Hunter Wells leads off first, being held on by Brooklyn. The 1-1 from the stretch from Quinn Taylor. Poked foul. Count goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 3rd. Pilots trail 5-1 in this game 1 of this doubleheader against the Jamestown Jammers. Both games, 7 innings. Taylor from the stretch. Sets, now fires the 1-2. Lined into looped. And it's going to be caught by Alex O'Donnell. So hung up there just enough for O'Donnell to race back and make the play. Now the hitter is Will Alaka. The right-handed hitting backstop. Looks down at the third base coach. For the side, that's Franklin Bush down there and Bennett Schultz, the first base coach. Wells leads off, throw over. He dives back in safely ahead of the first pitch to Will Alaka. Chris Connolly catching. Taylor here. First pitch to Alaka is fouled back for strike 1. Alaka, the catcher from the University of Virginia, waits. Taylor sets from the stretch. The 1-strike pitch misses high. Ball 1. Alaka grounded out to Alex O'Donnell at short. His first time up. He's 0 for 1 here in this game 1. Quinn Taylor working from the stretch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Wells leads off first, the 1-1. Inside. Counts 2-1. Peter Battaglia waits on deck for the Pilots. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Taylor from the stretch. Wells leads off first. The 2-1 from Alaka. Wells goes. Throw down to second is not in time. It's a stolen base for Hunter Wells. His first stolen base of the year. So the count goes to 3-1. The pitch that Chris Connolly tried to throw on missed the zone. Count 3-1. Wells now leads off second after his head first slide first steal. Taylor now looks back at second and fires in the 3-1. Alaka swinging at the pitch up in the zone. Counts full. To the Pilots catcher, Alaka. Quinn Taylor working from the stretch. Looks back. The payoff pitch is fouled out of play. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Full count to the Pilots catcher. Looks back at Wells is Taylor. Now fires from the stretch. The payoff pitch misses low. It's the second walk of the inning for Quinn Taylor, third of the night. And there are runners on first and second for Pete Battaglia.
Out to play number 18, playing first base, Peter Battaglia.
Battaglia is tied for the team lead with Ober Torres and John Ballier in RBIs. And has a runner on second in scoring position for the Pilots' first baseman. Battaglia went 0 for 3 in Game 2 last night after going 3 for 3 in Game 1. Pilots will be in Elmira tomorrow night against the Pioneers. They're 0 for 3 against them this year. Wells off second, Alaka off first. Battaglia is the hitter. Quinn Taylor looks back. Now fires from the stretch. The pitch off speed, swung on and missed. Strike 1. Alaka, or Battaglia, hit a leadoff triple in the bottom of the second and scored a run on a Jonathan Parker double for the lone Pilots run of the day. Taylor looks back at Wells. Now fires the 1-strike pitch to Battaglia. Grounded up the middle. O'Donnell on a hop, bobbles it. Alaka safe. Battaglia safe at first. It'll be an E6 on Alex O'Donnell. And the bases are loaded. That's O'Donnell's 6th error on the year. Now the hitter is Ober Torres, as Quinn Taylor will get a visit from his pitching coach. So 2 walks and an error has loaded up the bases. Hunter Wells walked. John Ballier popped up to short. Alaka walked, and then Battaglia reached on the E6. The bases full of Pilots for Ober Torres. With 1 out, Torres came up with the bases loaded against Geneva on Tuesday night and hit a 2 RBI double for the Pilots' first run of their 4-3 win. First pitch to Torres, swung on and missed at a pitch in the left-handed batter's box for strike 1. Torres popped out to the shortstop O'Donnell, his first time up. He's 0 for 1. When Taylor made him look silly on that one. Working from the stretch to Ober Torres. 1-strike pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. Back-to-back breaking balls from Taylor that's gotten Torres to go fishing for him. Counts quickly 0-2. Bases full of Pilots. Jonathan Parker waits on deck. He has driven in the Pilots' lone run tonight. Taylor from the stretch, bases loaded. 2-strike pitch to Torres. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Torres down swinging on 3 pitches. The same 3 pitches from Quinn Taylor. That brings up Jonathan Parker. Hit an RBI double his first time up in the bottom of the second. Wells, Olaka, and Battaglia lead off the bases. First pitch from Taylor, outside. Chris Connolly had to go to the backhand from preventing that ball from getting to the screen. It's 5-1. We're in the bottom of the third of game one. This doubleheader against the Jamestown Jammers. And Taylor working from the stretch. The 1-0 to Parker. Off speed, swung on and missed. Strike one. Bases full of Pilots, 2 outs. The 1-1 to the designated hitter Parker. From Taylor, it's bounced. Hunter Wells is going to round third, and he will score on the wild pitch from Quinn Taylor. So Olaka moves up to third, and Battaglia moves up to second on the wild pitch from Taylor. It's Hunter Wells' second run scored through his first 4. Two 1 is lined into the Pilots' dugout out of play. Counts back even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Pilots here in the bottom of the third. They've already got 1 in the inning. Parker looking to add more with 2 ducks on the pond. Taylor from the stretch, the 2-2 is. Parker checks his swing. It's fouled back off the screen. So instead of ball 3, count goes or remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Graham Hackbarth waits on deck for the Pilots if Parker can extend this inning. Olaka off third, Battaglia off second. Pilots got a run in this inning on the wild pitch from Quinn Taylor. Loaded the bases up with no hits. Parker looking for a hit. The 2-2 bounced in front of the plate. Chris Connolly uses his chest to block that one. The count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third with the designated hitter, Jonathan Parker, number 23, at the plate. From the stretch is Taylor. The payoff pitch to Parker, grounded. O'Donnell goes to his right to the backhand. He will fire from his back foot to first, offline. It's an RBI infield single for Jonathan Parker. And the Pilots get another run as Olaka comes in to score. Battaglia moves up 90 feet to third. And the score is 5-3. That's Jonathan Parker's second RBI of the night. And his second hit. Graham Hackbarth up. Now with 2 outs and runners now on the corner. Grounded out to the third baseman. Estrada, his first time up. Parker and Battaglia lead off first and third. Hackbarth at the plate. First pitch is fouled back for strike 1. 0 for 1 in this game 1. Went 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and a double in game 2 last night. Playing second base here against the Jammers. Game 1 of the 7-inning doubleheader at Colburn Park. 1 strike pitch, misses low and inside. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Hackbarth just 9 for 42 on the summer in 12 previous games. Has appeared at short and second for the Pilots. Going to be playing at Louisiana Tech next year. The 1-1. Breaking ball is high. Counts 2-1. Brookover holding on Jonathan Parker at first. Peter Battaglia leads off of third. Runners on the corners, 2-1 count to Hackbarth. With 2 outs. From the stretch, the pitch. Taken high. Count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike to the Pilots' second baseman. Runners on the corners here in the bottom of the third. Pilots already with 2. The 3-1. Taylor does the old fake to third, but does not throw to first. Mike O'Connor would be next, the shortstop. Pack Barth can extend the inning. 3 balls, 1 strike, runners on the corners. Taylor from the stretch delivers. Lined into right. This ball is going to be playable for Colin Stack. Makes the play to end the inning, but not before the Pilots get 2 back. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error in the inning, and 2 left on base. We played 3. It's 5-3 here at Colburn Park. Eight, 9, and 1 against Andrew White here in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch to Ryan Markey. Fouled back. That was the 83rd pitch of the night for Andrew White. The 84th on the 1-strike pitch has popped up out of play. Counts 0-2. Jake Bernardo is warming up in the Pilots' pen. Big 6'4" right-handed reliever. It's the 6'2" Andrew White on the mound. The 2-strike pitch, lined into left. Ballier over, makes the play for the first out of this top of the 4th. So the leadoff man retired for the 2nd inning in a row. Now it's the designated hitter, Casey Vincent. Pilots got 2 back in the bottom of the 3rd. First run, Hunter Wells scored on a wild pitch. Then the 2nd run, Will Alaka scored on an infield single from Jonathan Parker. Parker drove in 2 of the 3 Pilots' runs tonight. First pitch to Vincent at the knees for strike 1. Vincent lined out to O'Connor his first time up. He's 0 for 1. The freshman from St. Bonaventure against Andrew White from the stretch. The 1-strike pitch. Gets the corner, strike 2. Vincent with his long curly locks hanging out of his batting helmet from the left-handed batter's box. Wearing an elbow guard on his right elbow. The 2-strike pitch misses, 1-2. Chris Connolly waits on deck. That catcher is 2-0, 2 for 2 tonight. With 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. The 1-2 from White. Swung on and missed, strike 3. It was foul tipped into the glove of Alaka for the first out. Make that the 2nd out. Casey Vincent complaining that Alaka dropped that one. But it appeared it was just on the throw down. The 3rd, it slipped out of his hand. So that's the 6th strikeout for Andrew White through 3 2/3. And now the hitter is Chris Connolly. First pitch breaking ball upstairs, ball 1. The man the Pilots have been unable to retire tonight, and that most of the league has unable to retire, 2. 1-0. This is inside. Ball 2. Conley standing deep in the left-handed batter's box, but right over the plate. So a very tough inside strike zone. He's been hit 9 times, which leads the league. 2-0 is popped up. O'Connor finds it, sees it. Now takes a few steps back, gloves it to end the inning. So for the first time tonight, the Jammers go 1-2-3. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Pilots when we get back in the bottom of the 4th. They trail 5-3. Welcome back. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Colburn Park. Pilots held the Jammers off the scoreboard for the first time tonight in the top half, looking to score, and the Pilots are looking to score in their 3rd consecutive inning here in Game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader. Both games in 7 innings. The 2nd consecutive doubleheader the Pilots are playing here at Colburn Park. It'll be O'Connor, McKenna, and Hunter Wells against Quinn Taylor. First pitch fired from the windup to O'Connor. Missed for ball 1. Mike O'Connor walked his first time up and now takes strike 1. His first time up, was his 9th walk on the summer. And this one is blooped into right. It's going to be into the diving glove of Colin Stack for the first out. Not sure if Stack needed to dive to make the play for that one, as the ball held up there a good amount of time, but wanted the big crowd here at Colburn Park to see his defensive abilities. That'll bring up Mark McKenna. McKenna is 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to left. His first time up. Now grounds this one to the first baseman, Brookover. He goes to a knee, flips to Taylor, who is in a foot race with McKenna, but just beats him to the bag for the second out. So Mark McKenna has seen 2 pitches and has made 2 outs in the game, and the Pilots have seen 4 pitches in this inning and have made 2 outs. The batter's Hunter Wells. Walked, stole a base, and scored in the bottom of the 3rd. The first pitch from Quinn Taylor, ball 1. Quinn Taylor, wearing number 11, the sophomore right-hander from Felician College. The 1-0, rounded foul into the Pilots' dugout. Strike 1. John Ballier waits on deck. He's 0 for 2 if Hunter Wells can extend the inning. The 1-1 is grounded to short. O'Donnell goes to his right, gloves it, fires to Brookover at first to end the inning. So Pilots go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the fourth. We head to the fifth. They trail 5-3 here in game 1 at Colburn Park. Welcome back. Top of the fifth inning. Andrew White will give way to Jake Bernardo. Bernardo coming out of the pen from Fordham University in Glenmont, New York, standing at 6'4", 200 for the Pilots. Bernardo's making his 9th appearance. 12 innings pitched, 9 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, 20 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's 0-1 with a save and an 8.25 ERA. His 20 walks are good enough for third most in the perfect game league. He'll face 2, 3, and 4, Estrada, Brookover, and Valentine in the top of the fifth for the Jammers. Jammers were held off the scoreboard for the first time tonight in the top half of the fourth. After scoring 3 in the first, 2 in the second, or 3 in the first and 2, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Pilots have scored 1 in the second and 2 in the third. The game is 5-3. Jake Bernardo will work from the stretch and will fire the first pitch upstairs to Chris Estrada, ball 1. Estrada is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. He has also scored a run. That on the sacrifice fly from Colin Stack. Now the 1-0 from Jake Bernardo is on the outside corner for strike 1. Andrew White goes 4. Strikes out 6, allows 4 hits and 5 runs. The 1-1. Strike 2. He also walked 4. So 4 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned, 4 walks, 6 Ks. Now the 1-2 from Bernardo to Chris Estrada, the third baseman for the Jammers. The pitch off the plate. Counts all evened up at 2. Two balls, 2 strikes against Bernardo with the Jake DeGrom-like hair on the mound. Working from the stretch. The 6'4" righty deals. 2-2 pitch inside. Alaka tries to bring it back, but Estrada works the count back full after falling behind 1-2. Here on this Thursday evening at Colburn Park in Newark, New York. 6:25 Eastern. The 3-2 up and in almost hits Estrada, so he's on with his second walk tonight. That's the 21st walk by Jake Bernardo, and he ties our Adam Donovan for the league lead. Bernardo has walked 21 in 12 innings. Donovan has walked 21 in 20 innings. Pilots 5-17 on the year, with just 4.5 games back of Adirondack for playoff position. Bernardo throws over ahead of the first pitch to Ben Brookover. Brookover drove in a run with a single in the first, stole second base and scored, and then grounded out to Hackbarth in the third. So he's 1 for 2 tonight here in game 1 of this doubleheader at Colburn Park. Bernardo from the stretch throws over again. Estrada back in again, head first slide safely, ahead of the first pitch to Brookover. From the stretch, Bernardo deals. Grounded over the head of Hunter Wells into left. It'll be a base hit. So the first 2 batters have reached. The first 2 batters have reached here against Jake Bernardo in the 5th. So the 5'10" third baseman, not tall enough to make that play. Have to wonder if the Pilots' old third baseman, 6'4" Tanner Huddleston, would have. 6 inches taller on the hot corner. Would have made it more interesting. Hunter Wells with really no chance at that one. So runners on first and second, nobody out for Skylar Valentine. Struck out and walked and scored a run tonight. He's 0 for 1. First time he'll face Bernardo. The pitch, lined into center. McKenna started in and will head back. This one is going to be over his head and off the wall. 1 run will score. Brookover right behind him. He rounds third. He will score. It's a 2 RBI double as the throw from O'Connor gets away from Alaka as he moves up to third. So it's a 2 RBI double and then an error on the throw, advancing Valentine. So O'Connor gets the error on the throw that allows Skylar Valentine to advance to third. That's O'Connor's 4th error in 6 games. First pitch now to Colin Stack. Misses upstairs, ball 1. One strike pitch in the dirt. Alaka has to go to the backhand to prevent Valentine from scoring from third. So Valentine's RBI double has extended this lead from 5-3 to 7-3 for the Jammers here in game 1. Bernardo working from the stretch. It's a 2-0 count to Colin Stack. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Counts 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Here in the top of the 5th inning of game 1. 2-1 is lined into right. This one is going to be a base hit. Valentine will score. Stack rounds first. He heads to second. Will round second. He'll head to third. It's an RBI triple for Colin Stack. All 4 base runners have reached base against Jake Bernardo. And the score is 8-3. It's Colin Stack's 2nd RBI on the game, and he replaces Skylar Valentine at third. Alex O'Donnell, 1 for 2 tonight. RBI single back in the first, struck out looking in the third. Both of those were against Andrew White. Jake Bernardo working from the stretch. No one warming in either bullpen. Bernardo working. The runner on third. The first pitch. Strike one to Alex O'Donnell, the shortstop, who is 1 for 2 tonight and has made an error in the field. 8 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Jammers. The 1-strike pitch from Bernardo taken for ball 1. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Newark Pilots. We're here at Colburn Park. We're in the top of the 5th of game 1 of this doubleheader. Both games, 7 innings against the Jamestown Jammers. Pilots 0-4 against the Jammers this year. 1-1 lined into the glove of Hunter Wells. Will prevent the run from scoring and fire a strike to Battaglia across the diamond for out number 1. So a double, a single, a walk, a single, a double, a triple to start this inning, and then a ground out. So we need a fly out, a strikeout, and a home run in this inning to see it all. The Pilots will bring their infield in with 1 out, and the left-handed hitting left fielder Christian Deaton at the plate. Deaton has walked, stole a base, scored a run, and struck out tonight. First pitch, ball 1. Hackworth in about a few steps on the grass. Battaglia just behind the lip of the grass at first. Hunter Wells on the grass, and O'Connor a step off the grass. The infield is in, the 1-0. It's popped up. O'Connor back, Wells back. Ballier is going to let it drop, and it's going to be an RBI single for Christian Deaton. So perhaps the infield being in. The infield being in may have hurt the Pilots there, as the ball not hit that far into left, but Ballier playing deep, O'Connor and Wells playing in. Deaton finds some real estate in the outfield for his first hit of the night and his first RBI. Colin Stack comes around at third to score the Pilots, or the Jammers, 9th run. Christian Deaton takes over at first, has stolen base tonight. Bernardo will throw over at him. Four runs home in this inning. 2 on the RBI double from Valentine, 1 on the triple from Stack, and 1 on the single from Christian Deaton. Working from the stretch, the pitch. Inside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Runner leads off of first, the 1-0. Popped up, out of play. Counts 2-0. Ryan Markey, the hitter, 0 for 2 tonight, is the 7th Jammer hitter to come to the plate in this inning. Count is 1-1 to Markey. From the stretch, Bernardo, the pitch, drops a breaking ball in for strike 2. Deaton leads off first. Markey at the dish, the 1-2. Blooped into right. Torres in. He will make the play for the second out of the inning. So Markey retired. He's 0 for 3, and that'll bring up Casey Vincent. The left-handed hitting designated hitter is 0 for 2 tonight. Lined out to O'Connor and struck out swinging. That was both against Andrew White, the 8th batter that the Jammers will send up in this inning. The pitch from Bernardo. Vincent checks the swing. John White going to say he went around for strike one. Vincent, the left-handed hitting designated hitter, wearing number 3, against Bernardo, the righty. Pitch below the knees, ball 1. The freshman from St. Bonaventure, batting with Christian Deaton leading off first. Here in the top of the 5th. This one, line foul, counts 1 and 2. Jamestown already with 4 home in this inning. They've scored 4 runs on 4 hits, an error in this inning. The 1-2. Bounced to third, but foul. Count will remain. Vincent the hitter, Bernardo the pitcher, Alaka the catcher. Battaglia the first baseman holding on Christian Deaton. The 1-2 from Bernardo is way high. Count goes to 2 and 2. Ryan Allen beginning to throw in the Pilot's pen. It's 9-3 in the top of the 5th. Bernardo deals. The 2-2 is lofted into center. McKenna started and he settles back. Settles under it, makes the play to end the inning. But not before the Pilots give up 4. 4 runs on 4 Jamestown hits, 1 error in the inning, and 1 man left on base. We've played 4.5. Pilots trail 9-3. It'll be Ballier, Alaka, and Peter Battaglia against Quinn Taylor. Taylor back on the mound here in the bottom of the 5th, working with a 9-3 lead. From the windup to Ballier. Thought about it. Did not go around on the check swing. Counts 1-0. Ballier 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out and struck out against Quinn Taylor. Now bloops this one into left. This one is going to be a base hit. Ballier rounds first. He's going to head to second with a lead-off double to start this bottom of the 5th. He gets his first hit. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
Now for the plate, number 27.
And now the hitter's Will Alaka, the catcher. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a walk and a run scored. With Ballier leading off second, Quinn Taylor from the stretch. The pitch popped up out of play. Strike 1. Game 1 of this doubleheader here at Colburn Park. against the Jamestown Jammers. Quinn Taylor working from the stretch, the one-strike pitch. Upstairs. Counts 1-1. Pilots are at Elmira tomorrow. Onondaga on Saturday, and then Utica on Sunday. The 1-1, grounded to short. O'Donnell gloves it, fires high at a play. So Alaka reaches as Ballier moves up to third. Alaka gets second on what should be an E6. So that's Alex O'Donnell's second error of the night. And the Pilots have their first two men on. That throw from Alex O'Donnell hit off the top of the Pilots' dugout, then bounced over the fence. So no chance for Ben Brookover, the tall first baseman, the 6'1" first baseman from San Antonio. No chance for him over there. So Battaglia up with two ducks on the pond. It's an RBI opportunity here in the inning. Bottom of the fifth, the first pitch. This is for ball one. Quinn Taylor working from the stretch with runners on second and third. Ballier doubled, and then Alaka reached on an error. Both runners moved to second when the ball went out of play. The 1-0. This one is lined into left. Deaton back, Deaton still back. It's going to be over his head. Ballier will score from third. Alaka will round third. He'll score. Battaglia heads to third. He is going to slide in safely with a 2 RBI triple. It's Battaglia's second triple of the night. His fourth extra base hit in the last 3 games. And it's 9-5. That'll bring up the right fielder, Over Torres. Battaglia's 2 RBI triple puts him over 10 RBIs now. He has 11. And Chris Connolly is going to go out and talk to his righty. So Battaglia is 2 for 3, but has reached base all 3 times. The middle one on an error. And the pitching coach for Jamestown is going to come out and join the meeting with Quinn Taylor. And Chris Connolly makes the signal towards the bullpen, and they're going to take the ball from the righty Quinn Taylor. His night is over, with Battaglia standing on third. Pilots trail 9-5 in the bottom of the fifth of this 7-inning game. We'll be right back. So Jamestown will make a pitching change. Quinn Taylor goes 4+, 5 hits, 5 runs, just 2 earned for right now. Battaglia at third is his responsibility. He'll give way for the 6'3" right-handed pitcher, 235, Isaac Meza from CSU Bakersfield and Valencia, California. First batter he will face is Ober Torres. There's nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 5th here in Game 1 at Colburn Park. Meza making his 3rd appearance against the Pilots this year, first since June 13th. Pitched in the 14-10 win here at Colburn Park on the 13th. First pitch to Ober Torres misses inside ball 1. Torres is 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. 4 of the 5 hits off Quinn Taylor went for extra bases, 2 triples, 2 doubles, and then an infield single. 1-0 pitch was taken for strike 1. Torres, the hitter, with a runner in scoring position here in the 5th. Inside ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike, no outs. Battaglia leads off 3rd after a 2-run triple. Off speed from Meza. Counts 2-2. Torres swung through the change. Meza appearing in his 6th game, 7 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned, 2 walks, 8 Ks. He has no record and no ERA. And now Torres will ask for time ahead of the 2-2. Here in the bottom of the 5th of Game 1, the 2-2 to Torres, grounded to short. O'Donnell gloves it. It's going to be an RBI ground out for Torres. Battaglia comes around to score. And it's 9-6. Battaglia scores his 2nd run of the day. It's Torres' first RBI of the game. His 10th on the year. Joins Battaglia in double digits. And now the hitter's Jonathan Parker. 2 for 2 tonight, has driven in a run in both ABs. Thinks about the off-speed pitch from Meza, lays off. Counts 0-1. The designated hitter lines this one into right, but it's going to be out of play. Strike 2. Drove in a run with a double in the 2nd, and drove in a run with an infield single in the 3rd. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. Takes high, counts 1-2. All 3 errors on the scoreboard tonight made by the shortstops. 2 by Alex O'Donnell for Jamestown, 1 by Michael O'Connor for the Pilots. The 1-2 to Parker, fouled back. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. 9-6, bottom of the 5th. Jonathan Parker, the designated hitter at the dish. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Parker down swinging for the 2nd out. That'll be at the dish now, Graham Hackworth. He's 0 for 2 in this Game 1. Playing 2nd base for the Pilots. Hackworth takes a first pitch, strike 1. From Isaac Meza. A 1 pitch, just got a piece of it. Off the end of the bat for strike 2. Nine, 6, bottom of the 5th. Pilots down to their final strike of the frame. This one, though, is lined into center field. Valentine over, settles under it, makes the play to end the inning. But the Pilots get 3 back. 3 runs on 2 hits in the inning, 1 Jamestown error, and no runners left on base. It's 9-6. We head to the top of the 6th. Bernardo back on the mound for the Pilots when we get back. After giving up 4 runs in the top of the 5th, Jake Bernardo will get another inning here in game 1 of this doubleheader. We're in the top of the 6th. It's 9-6. Jammers lead. The batter is Chris Connolly. It'll be the top of the order for the Jamestown Jammers. Conley is 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. Takes outside from Bernardo. Working from the stretch, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits in the last inning. 1-0 pitch misses off the plate, counts 2-0. The catcher for the Jamestown Jammers at the plate. The 2-0 outside, ball 3. Three-0 pitch to Chris Connolly, misses, so a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. Bernardo's second walk, he surrendered, and with that walk, he will take over sole possession of first place for walks given up in the league.
Now to the plate, number 16 at third base, Chris Estrada.
Chris Estrada will come to the plate. The third baseman from UTSA is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs tonight. Hunter Wells in at third, Battaglia holding on Chris Connolly at first. The pitch outside. 5 straight out of the zone from Jake Bernardo. To start this inning. Throws over, ahead of the 1-0. The 1-0. This one is lined into right. Torres started back, takes a step in, now a step to his right to make the play for the first out of the inning. So the first strike of the inning leads to the first out of the inning for Jake Bernardo. And now it'll be number 30, the first baseman, Ben Brookover. Brookover is 2 for 3 with 2 singles, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and a stolen base here in game 1. Hunter Wells will take a step back now at third. Still playing about a step even from the bag. Jake Bernardo working from the stretch with Connolly leading off first. Chris Connolly has stolen 1 base in 2 tries this summer. Bernardo's working from the stretch, the pitch. Inside, gets away from Malacca. Conley heads down to second. On the pass ball from Willalaka. So the pass ball moves up Chris Connolly 90 feet to second. And now it'll be a 1-0 count to Brookover against Bernardo. Looks back, now fires in the dirt. This one gets away from Malacca. This one's a wild pitch. And this one will move Chris Connolly to third. Ryan Allen warming up in the Pilots' pen. And now Malacca will go out and have a chat with his righty, Jake Bernardo. In the top of the 6th of this doubleheader game 1, both games 7 innings here at Colburn Park against the Jamestown Jammers. Ben Brookover, the first baseman, is at the plate. He has a 2-0 count. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out here in the inning. Runner on third, the 2-0. Outside, ball 3. The center fielder Skylar Valentine waits on deck, but for now it's Ben Brookover. It's a 3-0 count with a runner on third. The pitch, strike 1. Taking all the way. Takes a fastball down the middle from Bernardo. The 3-1 swinging, lines this one deep to center field. McKenna back, he's still back. He will run out of room. It's a home run. A 2-run home run for Ben Brookover. And it's 11-6. Jamestown leads. So a 1-out, 2-run home run for Ben Brookover. And Jamestown goes up 11-6.
Out to the plate, number 2, Skylar.
That one to dead center field. McKenna had a good break on it, but just ran out of room. So Brookover picks up his second and third RBIs of the night and his third run. First pitch to Skylar Valentine, misses, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out. The pitch from Bernardo. In the dirt, ball 3. Skylar Valentine, the center fielder, the hitter. He's 1 for 2 with a double and 2 runs scored, a walk, and 2 RBIs tonight. 3 different jammers have 2 RBIs. The 3-0, taking all the way, is Skylar Valentine. Didn't even flinch at the fastball down the middle from Bernardo. Counts 3-1. It was a 3-0 count that Brookover hit for a home run. 3-1 pitch, ball 4. So Skylar Valentine reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. It's the 3rd walk from Bernardo. That'll bring up Colin Stack. Stack hit a sacrifice fly in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and hit an RBI triple in the 5th. He is 1 for 1 tonight. 3 plate appearances, 1 at-bat. The pitch from Bernardo in the dirt, ball 1. Shortstop Alex O'Donnell would be next, barring a double play from Bernardo. 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Counts 1-1. There's 1 out. 2 runs home on the 2-run home run from Ben Brookover. Second night in a row, the Pilots have surrendered a 2-run home run. 1-1 is lined into center. McKenna in under to make the play for the 2nd out. So there's 2 away now in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up the shortstop, Alex O'Donnell. From Mercyhurst, he's 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI, a strikeout, and he was caught stealing. First pitch from Jake Bernardo, fired in for strike 1. The 1-strike pitch from Bernardo upstairs. Counts 1-1. 11-6 here in the top of the 6th. Jamestown has gotten 6 off the reliever. Jake Bernardo after getting 5 off the starter Andrew White. 1-1 pitch misses, counts 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bernardo from the stretch looks over at Valentine at first. Alaka throws down. Back in safely as Valentine. Counts 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bernardo looks over, now fires to 3-1. Grounded foul, counts full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Battaglia will play behind Valentine with the full count. The payoff pitch from Bernardo swung on and missed. Strike 3, inning over. But not before Jamestown adds 2. 2 runs on 1 hit, the 1 hit being a 2-run home run from Ben Brookover. 1 man left on base for the Jammers. We head to the bottom of the 6th. They lead 11-6 here in Game 1 at Colburn Park. Michael O'Connor will dig in here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Pilots. They have some work to do. They trail 11-6 after a 2-run home run in the top half of this inning to extend the Jammers' lead. Isaac Mays is still on the mound. Strike 1. Came in relief of Quinn Taylor in the bottom of the 5th. Gave up an RBI ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. The 1-strike pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Michael O'Connor quickly behind in the count. The 2-strike pitch taken inside. Counts 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and fouled back. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shortstop O'Connor at the dish. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and has made an error in the field tonight. 1-2 popped up out of play. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs. O'Connor at the plate, the 1-2. Upstairs. Counts 2-2. The 2-2. Popped up to right. The second baseman back makes the play. That's Ryan Markey for the first out. So 3 in a row retired for Isaac Meza out of the pen.
Now to the plate, number 25.
To start this one, that'll bring up Mark McKenna. He's 0 for 2 in game 1 tonight. Isaac Meza working from the stretch. The pitch upstairs. Ball 1. Chris Estrada in at third, or he was anticipating a bunt from McKenna. Didn't square on the first pitch, doesn't square on the second, and takes ball 2. So it's a 2-ball, no strike count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. McKenna, the hitter from the left-handed batter's box against Meza. The 2-1 popped up out of play. Counts 2-1. O'Connor, the shortstop, got the first out of this inning when he popped up to second to start it. In the bottom of the 6th of game 1 here at Colburn Park. The 2-1 from Meza. Upstairs, counts 3-1. To the Pilots center fielder McKenna. Isaac Meza, the 3-1. Swung on and fouled back. Count is full to Mark McKenna. The payoff pitch, grounded up the middle. Markey over, fires to get the speedy McKenna at first for the second out. So Markey makes the first 2 plays here in the bottom of the 6th, and that will bring up Hunter Wells. The switch hitting third baseman is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. I scored one of the Pilots' 6 runs. Swings through the first pitch from Isaac Meza, 4-1. One strike pitch to Wells, misses low. It's ball 1. Wells, the third baseman from Tyler Junior College in Richmond, Texas, the 1-1. Grounded to first. Brookover takes it on. He will flip it to Meza to end the inning. So the Pilots go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th, the final frame. Jamestown leads this one 11-6. The left-handed hitting left fielder will lead off this top of the 7th inning. New pitcher for the Newark Pilots. It's Zach Mann. First pitch outside, ball 1. Jake Bernardo goes 2 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and a K. The 1-0. Ball 2. Two, 1. Swinging. Counts 2-1. Zach Mann. Deaton pops it up. Hackbarth back, McKenna, and Hackbarth makes the play for the first out. Zach Mann making his 11th appearance.
Now to the plate, number 20.
Second most in the league. 17 2/3 previous. 19 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, 10 walks, 19 Ks. He's 1-0 with a 5.60 ERA. First pitch to Ryan Markey, grounded up the middle. It's Markey's first hit of the night. He's 1 for 4. And now the only jammer hitter left out of the hit column. It's Casey Vincent, left-handed hitting designated hitter. He is 0 for 3. Lined out to short, struck out swinging, and flew out to center. Markey leads off first. Zach Mann's first pitch, low, ball 1. Zach Mann from Union, Kentucky, the 6'4", 225-pound right-hander. The 1-0. Missed, ball 1. Make that ball 2. We're here in the top of the 7th inning of game 1 of this doubleheader. The 2-0. Strike 1. Zach Mann, the 3rd Pilots pitcher they used tonight. Jordan Miller will start game 2 of this doubleheader. We're in the final frame of game 1. The 2-1 has popped up. Alaka gives it a look. No dice. Counts all knotted up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Deaton the hitter, Mann the pitcher. Markey the runner on first, Battaglia holding him on over there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch. Lined into right. Torres over. Torres will not make the play, but it will land just foul. Very close from being trouble for Casey Vincent. Zach Mann catches a break. Count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. (11-6), top of the 7th inning. Pilots trail here at Colbert Park. We're playing 2. It's game 1 of the doubleheader. A loss would drop the Pilots to 5-18. A win would move the Jamestown Jammers to 18-5. 2-2 is popped back. Count remains. Zach Mann on the mound, Ryan Markey on first, reached on a 1-out single. Casey Vincent is the hitter at the plate. He's the designated hitter for the Jammers. The pitch is popped up. Battaglia over, has room in foul territory, will settle under it, make the play for the 2nd out. So that will flip the lineup back over for Chris Connolly. The left-handed hitting catcher is 2 for 3 with a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI tonight. Zach Mann looks over at Ryan Markey at first. First pitch to Connolly. Upstairs, ball 1. One 0 pitch. Zach Mann drops in. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Pop to right. Torres back, still back. Ball's carrying, but he will find it, settle under it, make the play to end the inning. So a single and 3 flyouts for Zach Mann out of the pen. Last licks for the Pilots. They need 5 to keep game 1 alive. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Ballier, Alaka, Battaglia. And we get that. John Ballier will lead off this bottom of the 7th inning. Pilots will need 5 runs to keep this game 1 alive. New pitcher to tell you about for the Jamestown Jammers, it's Connor Ryan. Right-handed pitcher, 6'1", 190 from Williamsville, New York, and Mercyhurst, where he's a junior. Connor Ryan goes 2, retires all 6 batter he faces with a strikeout. First pitch from Connor Ryan is popped up by Ballier. Stack goes back, makes the play right in front of the wall for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Will Alaka.
Out to the plate, number 27, and catcher.
Connor Ryan appearing in his 11th game on the mound. 10 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 5 walks, and 12 Ks. He's 2-0 with a 1.68 ERA. Alaka, the catcher, waits the first pitch. Strike 1. Connor Ryan from the windup. Upstairs at the letters. Counts 1-1. Alaka asks for time and sets out. From the windup, 1-1 in the dirt. Ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Will Alaka. Fouled back. Counts all evened up at 2. Peter Battaglia waits on deck. Alaka is 0 for 2 tonight with 2 runs scored, a walk, and an error. Reached on an error. Allowed a few pass balls behind the plate. The 2-2. Swung on and grounded foul. Count will remain. Quinn Taylor, who pitched half the game in the 7-inning game, would be in line for the win. His second, Andrew White, would take the loss. Quinn Taylor would go to 2-0, both wins against the Pilots. Andrew White in his Pilots debut would drop to 0-1. The hitter is Alaka. It's a 2-2 count. Against Connor Ryan, this one foul again. So Alaka is battling a lengthy at-bat after Balliet only saw 1 pitch for the first out of the inning. Game 2 set to start about 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. From the windup, the 2-2. In the dirt, 3. So Alaka has worked this count full. Against Connor Ryan, the reliever, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Jammers. The payoff pitch. Hits him. So Alaka gets hit by a pitch on the full count. And that will bring up Peter Battaglia. Battaglia has reached base all 3 times. He's 2 for 3. 2 triples, 2 runs driven in. And he also reached out air.
Play number 78 at first base, Peter Battaglia.
Connor Ryan will work from the stretch. Here against Battaglia. Alaka leads off first, being held on by Brookover. The first pitch grounded to 3rd. Estrada over, goes to the backhand, won't make the play. And Battaglia is on. We'll see how they score that one. So it's going to be a hit for Peter Battaglia, his 3rd of the night. Moves Alaka up to 2nd. First pitch to Over Torres, misses. Torres had an RBI ground out his last time up. He's 0 for 3 tonight. The 1-0. Strike one. Torres looked that one all the way into the mitt of Chris Connolly. One ball, one strike, one out. The 1-1. Swung on and missed at a pitch at the letters for strike two. The 1-2 to Torres, outside, ball two. Alaka's at second. He was hit by a pitch. Battaglia's at first. He reached on an infield single. Torres is at the plate with a 2-2 count. Two balls, two strikes, one out, two runners on. 11-6, bottom of the seventh of game one. Torres swinging. Ropes it foul. Count remains 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, two out, one out. The pitch in the dirt. Conley slides over to stop the ball from getting to the backstop, and the count is full. So counts 3-2 with one out to Torres. See if they put him in motion. Ball four. So the bases are loaded with Pilots in the bottom of the seventh for Jonathan Parker. Torres, a big swing and miss guy. Does not Torres being a big swing and miss guy, you don't want to send your runners and have Torres strike out swinging and then have a caught stealing on the bases to end it. So the game is extended. There's still one out. Jonathan Parker is at the plate in this 11-6 game. Tying run on deck, bases full of Newark Pilots. Jonathan Parker is 2 for 3 tonight. Has an RBI double and an RBI infield single, and is also struck out. The two hits were against the starter, Quinn Taylor. The strikeout was against Isaac Meza. Parker now against Connor Ryan. From the stretch, the first pitch. Swung on and missed, strike one. Van Hackbarth, the second baseman, waits on deck. One strike pitch from Connor Ryan. Swung on and missed, strike two. Parker down to his final strike. The bases are full of Pilots. We're in the bottom of the seventh. We're in game one of this doubleheader. The two-strike pitch from the stretch. Parker gets a piece of it, fouls it back, stays alive, counts still 0-2. No balls, two strikes, one out. Bases full of Pilots. 11-6, Jammers lead, bottom of the seventh of game one. The final half inning of this one. The two-strike pitch just off the plate. Counts 1-2. To the Newark Pilots designated hitter in this game one. Game 2 set to start about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. It'll be the right-handed pitching Jordan Miller for the Pilots from New Iberia, Louisiana, and Coastal Alabama A&M, or Community College, not A&M. The 1-2 to Parker, breaking ball upstairs. Counts all evened up at 2s. Just after 7:30 here on the east coast at Colburn Park. Base is full of Pilots, bottom of the 7th. Parker has come back to work this count even at 2s. Connor Ryan from the stretch will step off ahead of the 2-2 to Jonathan Parker. Parker 2 for 3 tonight with 2 RBIs for the Pilots. The 2-2 lined into left. Deaton will find it. He'll settle under it, make the play. Alaka will tag from third. Throw goes into second. It's an RBI sacrifice fly for Jonathan Parker, his third of the night. But the Pilots are down to their final out.
Out to the plate, number 16 at second base, Ram Hackbarth.
Ram Hackbarth will be the Pilots' final chance here in the bottom of the 7th of Game 1. It's 11-7. Jamestown leads. It was Parker's third RBI of the night on the sacrifice fly. The second baseman is 0 for 3 tonight with a ground out and 2 flyouts. Torres and Alaka lead off first and second. First pitch could not hold up on a fastball at the letters. It's strike 1. 2 outs, runners on first and second. It's a 0-1 count to Hackbarth. 1 run scored on the sacrifice fly from Parker. Ryan looks back. The 1-strike pitch outside. Counts 1-1. Hackbarth from Birmingham, Alabama, and Pearl River Community College looking to extend this Game 1 for the Pilots. It's a 1-1 count to him with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Connor Ryan, foul tipped into the glove. Strike 2. The Pilots are down to their final strike, Game 1. Hackbarth at the dish, needing to extend this game. In the bottom of the 7th, Connor Ryan from the stretch with runners on. The 1-2. Taken upstairs. Outs 2-2. If Hackbarth can extend this game, Michael O'Connor would be next. The shortstop is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Hackbarth down to his final strike. 2 balls, 2 outs, 2 strikes. The 2-2. Swung on and popped back. Count remains all evened up at 2s. Hackbarth the hitter, Alaka the runner, make that Battaglia the runner at second, and Torres the runner at first. Alaka scored on the sacrifice fly. The 2-2 to Hackbarth is outstairs, downstairs. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So Battaglia and Torres will be going on the payoff pitch to Hackbarth. Looking to extend this game. The payoff pitch popped foul. Count still full. Hackbarth making this a lengthy at-bat, trying to extend this Game 1. Game 2 set to start about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 outs. Pilots down to their last strike. Runners will be going. O'Connor waits on deck. The payoff pitch is popped up. Back he will slide, but run out of room along the fence. Count still full to Hackbarth. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat to Graham Hackbarth. The Pilot's second baseman looking to extend this game. Already one home for them in the bottom of the seventh. But they need 4 more to extend it. Hackbarth is 0 for 3 tonight, has runners on first and second. It's a full count. Runners go. The payoff pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Hackbarth walks. Battaglia to third. Torres to second. And that'll bring up Michael O'Connor with the bases loaded. Tying run at the plate for the Pilots.
Now, Mike O'Connor.
So Michael O'Connor, the shortstop, will dig in against Connor Ryan with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 11 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for Jamestown. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Pilots. If O'Connor can get on, it's McKenna. The bases are full of Pilots. It's Battaglia, Torres, and Hackbarth. The stretch from Connor Ryan upstairs, ball 1. So after a 10-pitch at-bat to Hackbarth, the first pitch to O'Connor misses upstairs. O'Connor has made an error in this one. That one came back in the top of the 5th when Jamestown got 4. The 1-0 to O'Connor from the stretch. Strike 1. Throw down to first. Conley thought he had Hackbarth picked off. Would be a terrible time to get picked off at first with the tying run at the plate and not even one of the 2 lead runners. Pilots may have caught a break. It was a called strike to O'Connor. Pilots still alive. It's a 1-1 count. The bases are loaded. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 pitch misses low. Counts 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Mark McKenna would be next. O'Connor at the dish looking to extend this game for the Pilots. From the stretch, the 2-1. At the knees, strike 2. Pilots are down to their final strike tonight. O'Connor looks down at third for a sign. The only sign that he could be possibly given right now is to keep this game alive. The bases are full of Pilots. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Looking to extend this game is O'Connor. The pitch swung on and fouled back. He stays alive at 2-2. O'Connor's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. 2 for 12 on the summer. He also made an error at short. Looking to keep this one going for the Pilots. Connor Ryan working from the stretch to the shortstop O'Connor. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. From the stretch, the pitch. Grounded off the leg of O'Connor. Looked like he hit right where that shin guard is protecting, but he stays alive. Count still 2-2. Bases full of Pilots. It's a 2-2 count. Here in game 1 of this doubleheader, Pilots down to their final strike. The hitter is O'Connor, the shortstop. Looking to extend this game. Pilots need 4. Connor Ryan working from the stretch, the 2-2. Taken just off the plate, and the count is full. So start the merry-go-round for the Pilots with a full count and 2 outs. All 3 runners likely to be going. O'Connor with a full count looking to extend this game. Payoff pitch from the stretch coming from Connor Ryan. The 3-2. Inside ball 4. O'Connor walks to drive in a run. The tying run is at first, and the Jammers are going to go to their bullpen ahead of this matchup with Mark McKenna. It'll be a righty out of the pen for the lefty McKenna. The bases are full of Pilots, and we'll be right back. So Mark McKenna will be the batter. He's 0 for 3 tonight against the new pitcher, Colin Johnston. Connor Ryan goes 2/3 of an inning, allows a hit, walks 3, hits a batter, and allows 2 earned runs. Colin Johnston asked to get the final out of this game 1. McKenna will go down and talk to his third base coach, Franklin Bush. Johnston, a sophomore from Monroe Community College in Rochester, New York. Right-handed thrower, he's 6'1", 200. Making his 11th appearance, 14 2/3, 14 hits, has not allowed an earned run or a run. Has walked 4, struck out 4. He's 1-0, and he's looking to get the final out and pick up a save for the Jammers in this game 1. McKenna looking to extend this game. Has a conversation with his Canisius College teammate, Chris Connolly, down behind the plate. Probably saying he's about to hit this one over the right field wall to end this game 1. The tying run, O'Connor, is on first. Hackbart's on second, and Torres is on third. Speed on the bases. McKenna is hit by the first pitch in the knee from Colin Johnston. So that will walk in a run. Over Torres will score. It's McKenna's second RBI on a hit-by pitch in as many days. And it's 11-9. And Hunter Wells is the hitter. The leadoff man. The Pilots have now batted around in this bottom of the 7th. 3 straight batters have reached with 2 outs. Hunter Wells with a chance to play hero. Grounded to third. Past the diving glove. O'Connor dives. Makes the play at first to end the game. What a play by the shortstop, Alex O'Donnell, to end this one. Hunter Wells, first pitch swinging. Grounded it past the diving glove of Chris Estrada. O'Donnell into a slide. Comes up firing to get Hunter Wells at first. Wells grounds out to end game 1. The Pilots leave the bases loaded and the winning run on first. Give us about 30 minutes and we will be back for game 2. Quinn Taylor takes the win, Andrew White the loss, and Colin Johnston gets the final out to save game 1. We'll be right back with game 2 from Colburn Park.